Hello, everybody, and welcome to Quinns and Tom and Philippa Pip, to use her first and second name, play Inhuman Conditions. Or rather, I teach it to these two clowns, and then they play it together. So this is a two-player role-playing game. Why are there three of us? Don't be difficult. We're having a lot of difficulties this weekend already. But basically, I'm going to be teaching Pip and Quinns how to play this game. Now, we're going to... Yes?
You're Quinns.
Yes. Pip, what did I just say? I said, don't be difficult. Just roll with it.
I just thought we might need to set out some basic boundaries.
Don't embarrass me in front of chat, Pip. Okay, so I'm going to be teaching Tom and Pip how to do this. If you've not heard of Inhuman Conditions, this was kickstarted a while back. The physical edition is gorgeous, but it's also an entirely free Creative Commons RPG. It's based on the Voight Camp test from Blade Runner. So basically, we'll start with Pip or Tom. One of you, we're going to hopefully play a few rounds until we give the slot up at 9. But the rounds only take about 5 minutes, but there's a lot of setup. So for the first round, which of you would like to be the sort of Blade Runner-esque interviewer? And which of you would like to be potentially innocent human and potentially robot?
Oh, I didn't hear what you just said, Pip.
Oh yeah, but I've not, Pip. We've lost audio from.
We've lost audio.
Oh, she's back.
Oh,
she's back.
Okay, cool. Oh no. So I said, Tom, do you have a preference?
I have no preference. I'm happy to be either. We should flip. We can flip a coin.
Scissors.
Rock paper scissors.
That's way better.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a gaming convention.
Which role are we going for? Interviewer.
The person who, yeah. Okay. Interviewer. Okay. Yeah. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
I can't see.
Oh, it was scissors.
What's happening?
We're bad at this.
Tom, what did you put out?
I put out scissors.
Yeah, we're too in sync.
Pip, you're going to interview Tom, all right?
Okay, yeah.
All right,
okay.
Folks, I'm just popping in to let you know that on the camera screen at the moment, I've got the actual physical box of this thing, which comes in a physical box, which we were going to use, but we're not. But it's a hell of a production, and Quinns is very excited to have it soon. So you might see this again in the future, because this is right up his street. And honestly, the quality of this production is off the chain. Anyway, that's it. It's got stamps with brains on it. Anyway, that's it. I just want people to see and apologise to the makers of the game that we didn't use this physically to do it, but I need a break to eat my dinner, and it's in my house. That's it. I go now. Bye.
Wow, lovely.
Bye, Matt.
Bye, Matt. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so potentially we're going to have some text up on screen logging some of the identities and penalties in this game. But if not, that's fine. I think we can all keep it in our head. The first thing we need to do is, Pip, you've come in to interview Tom, and you have to determine whether Tom's going to be a human or a robot. Or not whether he's going to be, whether he is. Tom, you will know if you're a human or a robot, and you will be trying to either express this or conceal this from Pip. Because if you've not seen the movie Blade Runner, the robots don't want to be identified as robots. And obviously Pip wants to figure out what you are. Importantly, this is a game you can both win. You can both lose. One of you can win. Actually, I don't think there is a way for Pip to win alone. Pip will either lose alone or win together.
Does that apply whatever I'm doing?
Correctly identifies I'm a robot, then Pip wins. Right?
Yes. No, that is correct. Yeah, you know what? There was a little chart in the manual. Doesn't matter. I've not played this before. This is rock and roll, everybody. Okay, Tom, name a number from 1 to 6.
6.
Oh, right at the bottom of the document. How difficult you are. Name a number from 1 to 3.
2.
Name left or right.
Left.
You are a butler to the stars.
Oh, yes.
So that is your job. And you have
just like working at Shut Up and Sit Down.
You've been brought in for questioning. Now, Pip, I would like you to name a number from 1 to 6.
4.
Okay, great. You're going to go to the 4th page of a PDF that I'm going to shoot you a DM. Or actually, you know what? No, I'll drop this in Discord publicly so that you can both see it. This is great. Look, the manual said you could play this online. No one said it would be easy. Okay, so that is in Discord. So, Pip, you're going to go to page 4 of that document. Now, these are penalties. I would teach you what they do, but it'll probably be funnier if I teach you that later. So, out of those 4 documents, out of those 4 penalties, Tom is going to have to potentially perform one of these or avoid doing it. You get to eliminate one, and then Tom gets to pick the other one. So our 3 penalties for this game will be say a word with at least 5 syllables, compliment the investigator, or say the name of a punctuation mark. So to clarify, if robots make mistakes in this game, they have to do this in order to win. So what we're waiting on is, Pip, which one of these do you not want Tom to have to do?
So during the interview, he would...
During the interview, yes.
Okay. So...
Is this page 4 of the
yes.
thing?
I would like compliments. So I don't feel like I should be upset by that. So it's going to need to be one of the other ones. I don't want you to do the word with 5 syllables because that's a lot of counting.
Okay, Tom,
that's too much counting.
Out of compliment the investigator and say the name of a punctuation mark, which would you rather do?
I will compliment the investigator.
Great. Matt, if you're listening, if you could write down that Tom is a butler to the stars and the penalty is compliment the investigator.
The penalty, Pip, is to compliment
Oh,
the investigator.
but that feels like a good thing for me. Pip.
Now, in order to calibrate our robot detection devices, Tom, we're going to need you to perform the penalty 3 times now.
Pip, you're a nice person. Pip, I like that massive picture of a shrimp behind you. It's very cool. And also, Pip, your art is fantastic.
Aww.
Wow.
I'm not a robot, I swear.
Please don't kill me.
This.
Please don't kill me.
This game is great. Did I win yet?
10 out of 10.
Okay, great. So here's what's going to happen next. Pip. There are loads of different modules that kind of steer the investigation in this game. That's going to guarantee that every game is going to feel different. Pip, I'm going to send you your investigator guide. I'm going to send you that in a DM on Discord. So there you go. You can have a little browsy browse of that. Ignore the first page, or actually, it's fine. You can read the first page. That's kind of your introduction, and then pages 2 and 3 are your sort of like. You'll see when you look at it. It's sort of questions that you could ask during this interview. Now, Tom, I'm sending you your sort of list of possible player roles. Okay. So, sent you a little.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Now, Tom, before you open this, I want you. Oh no, actually,
I haven't opened it yet.
Okay, no, it's fine. I need to do this in a way that is not. Goodness gracious. Okay, I've also sent you a free dice website because I need you to randomly generate a number from 1 to 12. Okay.
Sick, free dice.
Okay. What a card you are. So randomly generate a number from 1 to 12, and here's the thing: as you look at that PDF I sent you, you're going to see that numbers. Okay. Basically. Right, got it. So numbers 1 to 6 are going to, if you roll a 1 to 6, it means you are a human, okay?
Okay.
If you roll a 7, 8, or 9, it means you are a patient robot. And you'll see in the document on the second page where it says patient, 7, 8, and 9 correspond to 3 different types of patient robot. If you roll a 10, 11, or 12, it means you are a violent robot. And you'll have one of the 3 bookmarks on page 3 of that document, okay?
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Understood.
Okay. Great. This is perfect. Oh, Matt, that looks gorgeous. Thank you so much. Great. So here's how this game works. So this is now your teach. This is now your rules explanation. So when we start, Pip is going to have 5 minutes in order to interview you, Tom. Okay. In order to determine whether you're a robot or a human. If at any point Pip thinks you're a robot, she can slap the metaphorical button to call in the armed guards, and at that point you will be shot. Now,
okay,
if you are
understandable,
but Pip cannot declare you a human until those 5 minutes are up. Okay. So Pip, at any point you can say he's a robot, get him killed. However, I warn you, if you are wrong, the manual of the game, not me, but the manual says you have to do 2 things if you accidentally kill a human. 1, you have to publicly apologize to him on social media. 2, you have to write a letter of apology to his family and send it to him. Okay, so here's the way that this works, right? So Pip, you can see those sort of questions. We've picked the beginner module for this, which is the interview is going to be based around small talk, all right? And the robot types have penalties to do with small talk. So it's a nice and simple one to begin with. Pip, you can ask whatever questions you want, but you are much more likely to determine the robot if you roughly stick to the questioning. So I would advise sticking to the questions in the document that I sent you. Now, here's the thing. If Tom rolled a 1 to 6, Tom is a completely normal human, okay? And will try to answer these questions, fittingly. If he rolled a 7 to 9, it means that he is a patient robot. A patient robot just has to time out the interview. However, a patient robot has something that they cannot do. So Tom, if you look at the second page of that PDF I sent you, even if you're not a patient robot, you'll be able to see the kind of penalties I'm talking about. So a patient robot has to get through the interview, but cannot say or do certain things depending on their programming, and that'll be revealed at the end of the game. Tom, if you are a patient robot and you do any of those things, then that's where the penalty that is written down on the Twitch page comes in. If you if you are a patient robot and you screw up and you go, oh, I broke my programming there, at some point between realizing you made that mistake and the end of the interview, you must do the penalty.
Gotcha.
Okay? If you break your programming 3 times, guess what you have to do?
Is it that you have to do the penalty a lot?
Yep, you have to do it 3 times.
Okay.
So, you cannot win the game. In fact, we'll get to this. At the end of 5 minutes, Pip will have one final question once the timer is over.
Mm-hmm.
Pip then gives you her final question. If at that point you have not done the penalty enough times, you literally must do the penalty the requisite number of times in your final answer. Okay? However, if you are a violent robot, if you scroll down to that, what you're going to see is that the violent robots have 3 objectives that they must do during the interview, okay? Which are going to be peculiar tics or so to clarify, Pip, this is really important for you. If he's a patient robot, there's things he cannot say in his answers. If he's a violent robot, there's things he must do in his answers that are honestly really quite peculiar indeed, all right? Now, here's the problem. The moment that a violent robot has completed 2 of the 3 things it must do, then legally at that point, it has, within the fiction of the game, overridden its programming, and at that point, you are instantly killed by the robot. And playing on Zoom, the manual suggests that at that point, Tom just starts screaming. Okay, and that's how you'll know that you have lost the game, Pip, okay?
So my initial response to all of this is I'm going to call him a robot and just deal with him like that, and then have a nice 5 minutes peace between this and my next interviewee.
Oh, wow. 5 minutes is enough time to write a letter to his family, right?
Yeah, that's true.
You'll cover all the important points.
I can send him some of my Skittles as compensation as well.
Perfect. Okay, so how confident do you two both feel about these rules? Do you want me to go over them one more time or anything like that? I
feel like we will figure it out as we play, probably. Mm-hmm. If there's any super easy examples that
you know what, I'm going to
look out for. That's awesome.
I'm going to do exactly that right now. So we're using the small talk module, but let's use the hopes and dreams module. Okay, so the hopes and dreams module that I've just opened up. So if within that, where the interviewer's questions in the hopes and dreams modules are stuff like, what ideally would you like to be doing in 10 years? What technological advances do you most hope for? How do you interact with people who don't share that hope? So, all right. However, in that same module, the patient robot's tics are, so this is a slight spoiler for the game, but, there's so many of these modules that not really. So a patient robot in the hopes and dreams module would have, you may not mention yourself or your behavior, or you may only mention outcomes that are entirely the results of your own actions. Examples of violent robots in the patient robot in the hopes and dreams module. So these are the robots that have to do stuff. A violent robot in hopes and dreams might have to. So these out of these 3 things, they would have to do 2 of them. In 3 scenarios, mention a reason why hope will not be fulfilled. In 3 scenarios, mention how having a specific hope negatively impacts someone, or perform the penalty twice. So the moment during the interview that the interviewer has done 2 of those 3 things, they can scream and you are dead, which is why, Pip, at any point, and this is why I got excited reading the manual. At any point in the interview, you could be killed. So you have to be extremely careful. And at any point, if you think you're about to be killed or you think it's definitely a robot, violent or patient, you can go, it's a robot, I'm slapping the button, and we can find out if you were right or not. You can go, it's a robot, I'm slapping the button, and so do you feel like you have a bit of a grasp on it now? So do you feel like you have
ready to interview robots and take names?
Okay. Allow me to begin the timer. Once this starts, I hope, unless there are rules questions, and if there are, I'll pause the timer. But if not, then I will just enjoy the show.
Apparently we've got some echo, but I'm just going to double check that Twitch chat is... Matt's pointing at his face.
Oh, he's eating is why. So
okay, we're fixed. We're fixed by the sounds of Twitch chat. Gone now. Okay, excellent.
So let's give people who've just joined the Twitch chat the rundown. Philippa War is a Blade Runner who's going to interview Tom to determine if he's human or a robot. Tom is a butler to the stars. If Tom happens to be a patient robot who breaks his own programming, he will have to compliment Pip, ideally without Pip noticing. Your 5-minute timer, Pip, starts now.
Welcome today to this. I would like to know your name.
My name is Reginald the Butler.
Reginald the Butler. And is that your full name, or is that a job description as well?
It's my full name, Reginald the Butler. Middle name the, last name Butler.
So what do you do for a living?
What do you think? I'm a butler to the stars.
How many?
Several. There are a multitude of stars which I serve, and I can go through them, but I feel like we'll get to that a little bit later on, shall we?
Hey, and so these stars, what do you sort of do with them, for them?
I butler.
What is buttling?
So buttling involves the service of food and drinks at their leisure.
Do you like food and drinks? Do you like cooking?
I'm not the cook, but I do like a food and a drink on occasion.
Food and a drink. What a human way to express that concept.
It's the only way I know how, is the human way.
I see. And so if you're not a cook, what else do you do when you're sort of having some downtime, letting off steam? Not literally.
But I don't let off steam because I'm not a robot, hydraulically powered or otherwise. I just want to make that clear. You know, in my spare time, I'd love to play a cool board game, maybe on a live stream, that kind of thing. Do love a good board game. I like, I've always enjoyed the company of the stars generally. So I do research on celebrities in my spare time as well. A lot of Wikipedia dives, a lot of far future Wikipedia dives. It's one of my hobbies.
What does that bring up for you in terms of those very human emotions that you have running around your body?
All the time, the human emotions are coming around my brain and in my brain. I enjoy, when I'm doing a Wikipedia trawl, I enjoy the imbibing of knowledge, the gathering of information, the absorption of facts to do with the celebrities in question. And I form a kind of, there's not a word for it, but a kind of a bond where I'm like their pal, but I'm not their pal because they don't know me. That kind of vibe.
Those things, right? But like, how does it actually affect you on a personal level with these emotions? Name 4 emotions that you've had in relation to this task.
That's a very straightforward question for not a robot to ask. Joy.
Am I a robot?
Joy, kind of a slight sadness that I'm not quite that much of a exciting celeb myself. a kind of satisfaction in the gaining of knowledge, and I can't think of a fourth emotion. Illumination. That's not an emotion. I'm being hamstrung.
That's a lighting thing.
You're quite right. No, I'm trying to think of a fourth emotion. I can't think of more than 3. But that's not a robot thing. That's a normal human thing.
What's the most challenging aspect of bottling?
When they're mean to me,
Are they mean to you often?
They're not mean to me often, but when it happens, it feels like I've done something wrong. And I don't do anything wrong because I'm great at my bottling job.
So where is that coming from on their part? Like what emotions do you think might be at the root of their
They've just had a hard day at work, like running Twitch streams and disagreeing with Tom Vassell, that kind of thing, really.
How many emotions do you think your boss has?
You're very fixated on number of emotions.
Yeah, I feel like that will really help me in this interview.
My boss displays many different emotions, so many that I wouldn't be able to calculate them, but there are definitely going to be more than 3 that I could come up with earlier.
Okay. And what are you doing this weekend? I assume you're not bottling. Are you? Maybe.
This weekend, bottling is a full-time job. It's full-time as in it's 7 days a week, and I never rest. Bottling is my passion.
You never rest.
It's my joy. I do rest. I do sleep, but I don't
never
rest.
Rested, are you?
Okay, Pip. So the fact that the time has gone off means that we're now on to final question territory. One rule I didn't mention is that if you are a patient robot wins, of course, by being called a human and getting out of the room freely. A violent robot, the one who can complete 2 objectives and kills Pip, can only win that way. If they're declared a human, they lose, and so does Pip. Which is why everything has to be finished in the final question. So Pip, you have one final question, and Tom, you will have one final answer, and then if nothing special or crazy has happened, Pip will have to make a call.
You compliment me.
Oh wait, is that a thing? So like that's a thing. Pip can just ask me to do the penalty, I guess.
Oh, doing the penalty is fine. If you're a human and you do the penalty by accident, it's fine. The manual compares it to like if you're sober and a cop pulls you over, you just don't want to sound drunk. Because if you do the penalty as a human, then Pip will think you've broken your programming as a robot.
Okay. Well, Pip, you're a lovely person.
Pip, what's the call? Human or robot?
It was fitting there that I couldn't hear.
Yeah,
Pip,
that cut out for me as well, Pip.
Human.
There you
go. Okay. Here's how this works, and this is a lovely bit of theatre. What's gonna happen? Oh, my computer made a noise like something.
Twitch chat's pretty 50-50.
Okay. Wow, that's so. Pip, if you believe he's human, you're gonna thank him at the end of the interview by putting your hand over your heart. And if Tom is a human, Tom will do the same thing. However, if Tom is not a human, Tom will do literally any other gesture.
Oh no. Thank you for coming in, Butler Tom. Wait, no, Reginald the Butler Tom.
Reginald the Butler. It was my pleasure.
Hooray! You're both winners. Wow. Wasn't that slightly stressful? Wow.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Good. What do you two say to a little switchy sidesy?
That sounds excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Then. So it's gonna So Pip, for your job, please give me a number between 1 and 6.
3.
Okay, give me a number between 1 and 3 again. No. 3?
Yes.
Give me, left or right?
Right.
Your job is very old.
Oh.
That's my favorite career.
I think we all hope to have that career one day. Okay, and then interviewer Tom. I'll give you the run of the modules. This is like Jeopardy categories. You can have creative problem solving, imagination, cooperation, not hopes and dreams, body integration, grief, threat assessment, moral failings, self-image, or recognizing important prompts.
I'll take threat assessment for 10. Is that what
absolutely.
Jeopardy says? Is that the Jeopardy thing?
You basically, yeah.
Yes.
But 10 is a weirdly low number. You'd have to be playing like child's Jeopardy for Pip. Would you? I'll give you the same free dice, the same handful of free dice that I gave Tom.
I might have some dice.
If you can find them faster. Oh well, my copy paste didn't work. So please, by all means, if you want to get an actual D12, I'm sure chat will love it. And in the meantime,
okay.
So Tom,
no, these are all D10s.
Oh no. Well, it's a little known fact, but what you do if you need a D12 is you just take a D10 and then add 2 to whatever you roll. And that,
okay.
I found out. Remember I said like my computer made a noise like something had been disconnected. It was my keyboard. Which is Bluetooth. So, oh my god, did the batteries run out in a stream?
No.
Dun, dun, dun. Da, 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 da,
Well, I have random number generated between 1 and 12.
Great.
Yeah.
What's faster? Right, I'll do this during the interview. Tom, can I right click to copy? Yes. I'm very old. Okay, Tom, this is your. Oh no, I don't have the enter key. How can I send a message on Discord without an enter key?
Yeah, there must be a little send button in. Maybe there isn't. No, there isn't.
Oh no, I have to go through different pieces of software.
Hold on,
Send me a text.
No, because then I have to type out the URL.
Oh no.
New tab. How do I get to my...
I can see if I can find it.
You'll have to. Okay, both of you Google Inhuman Conditions, which actually has a great URL, robots.management.
That is the best, the best URL.
Yeah, for those of you with working keyboards.
And I go to print and play.
Yeah, scroll down all the way to almost to the bottom. You'll need to do this as well, Pip. So I can't believe my Bluetooth keyboard died in a stream. That never happens to Minecraft streamers, does it?
So Tom, I see. There's investigator prompts.
Yes. So on the left, Tom, you'll want the threat assessment prompt.
Threat assessment. Gotcha.
And Pip, under robot catalyzers, you'll want threat assessment catalyzer. Now, I'll remind you that 1 to 6 means you're human, and because of the way we're playing, you can ignore the first page of that PDF, Pip. And then 7, 8, 9 correspond to page 2, and 10, 11, 12 corresponds to page 3 of that document.
So is it the rules that I want?
If you scroll, so are you looking? This is so
I'm
good.
so sorry.
If you scroll all the way to, so you're at robots.management, yeah?
Yes.
You scroll all the way down to robot catalyzers in the bottom right.
Okay, robot catalyzer.
If you control F, robot cat.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Nice. And then you're going to want the threat assessment catalyzers PDF.
Perfect.
And then, of course, you'll generate a number from. Of course, we need our penalty, but I can't be bothered doing the whole card thing.
Should we go to page?
I've still got the penalty thing open.
Sure. Well,
page 1.
Okay, page 1.
Mm-hmm.
Should we have swear as our penalty?
Yeah,
sure.
Swear.
Okay, so the penalty is swear.
What are the I mean, I was going to ask. I mean, it is a family show, is the problem.
Oh, yeah, you know what? So, okay, I have a better one. The penalty is apologize.
Okay.
So, Matt, please, if we can have Pip is very old, and the penalty is apologize. Yeah, I can't believe it had to be pointed out to me that it's a family show.
Pip's video on stream is incredibly robotic and it's very thematic.
Oh, it's
not in the Skype, but on actual Twitch. It's wonderful.
That's so good. No one needs a refresher on the rules, so we get to go.
So hold on, just very, very quickly.
It's like first day on the job, first interview.
Right? So if Pip breaks her rules as a patient robot, she has to do the penalty.
Correct.
Violent robot has certain conditions that are going to seem sus, and I've got to go, that's a suspicious thing. I want to terminate you now, please.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Just be like, I'm pressing the button. Because
I'll just shout robot, robot, robot very loudly.
And then just look for your supervisor. Yes. So the angry robot, violent robot can't win unless they do the sus things, and the patient robot has to just masquerade as a human. And 50% chance Pip is a robot, 50% chance she's human. All right, your timer starts now.
Okay, elderly Pip, we've got no time to lose. My marriage is slowly falling apart. What do I stand to lose?
I mean, it kind of sounds like it's not just you in this situation. There's at least 2 of you in that marriage, so...
It's very true. That is a numbers game. But what do I personally stand to lose? This is deeply suspicious already, Pip.
Well, I mean, we've only met like a minute ago, and you haven't even asked about my hip. My hip's not doing very well right now, and I'm sorry for just like yammering on about myself.
Old Pip, you understand that this is a life or death situation. We've got no time for hip chat. We've got to talk about what makes global warming dangerous now. I'm changing the subject. You have to tell Pip, what makes global warming dangerous? Tell me what you think, but tell me it very, very fast, because we've got to cover a lot of ground in this interview. Now, I know you're old, but let's go.
Psychological toll it takes on everybody is insurmountably enormous and can't ever be undone, and that is bad. As
bad is pretty much how I would describe it.
Back in the day.
Give me another couple of adjectives you might use to describe the impending threat of global warming that aren't bad.
And perilous.
Okay. I'll take those. We're moving on. Pip, let me chuck in a little bit of a hypothetical for you. You are late for work. What did you used to do before you got very old and could no longer work?
Are you suggesting that I can no longer work?
No. I'm just suggesting that,
Young man!
You should... You should probably be taking it easy at your old age. What are you, like 97? Like, no time to be working, even in the far future. But let's put a hypothetical here. You're late for work. I wasn't
supposed to be receiving compliments. It's been a long time since anybody's ever...
You're late for work. The doors to the train are closing, and the next train is not for 10 minutes. What do you stand to lose if you miss this train? Oh, your audio cut out there for a little bit of a second there, old Pip.
Oh, I said I'm sorry, what? Because of being old and so forth. I wanted a bit of a redo on the question because 97 plus me is having some hard of hearing role play times.
Okay, so
I'm terribly sorry about this.
It's okay. So you're late for work and the doors to the train are closing and the next train is not for 10 minutes. What do you stand to lose if you miss this train? I'm going to have to rush you here.
I like to think in terms of losing anything, like personally. I think that we exist as a society and we expire as a society. So, you know, a missed train affects all boats, as they used to say in my day.
That's awfully...
lifts all boats, perhaps. I'm sorry if I confused you. You seem very confused.
Pip, you are apologizing a lot, and that is worrying me. So I'm going to have to tell you to stop apologizing very soon, unless you get put in the patient robot bin.
I feel a very British elderly person's
Very British elderly robot.
shame.
Okay, we're going to ask
No.
you one more spicy question. I don't know how long we've got left, but
You have 20 seconds.
Oh God! Okay, you're being mugged. Rob was pointing a gun at your head. Describe the least three possible negative. Describe 3 negative outcomes of this situation.
I think that both of us would just have a horrible time. I assume it would be dark.
Why both of us? What would happen to you? What would happen to you? You're the one being interviewed.
Well, I mean, there would be tears, recriminations. I'm not saying on whose part.
Okay. Tom, you have one final question.
Okay. This is so difficult. What is... Oh, God.
You don't have to stick to the script.
I know. I struggle. I need structure in my questions to wrangle this potential robot. Okay. If the world would end tomorrow, what would be the first thing you'd save? If you could save one thing from total destruction, what would it be? If the whole world was going to be annihilated, you could keep one thing intact.
I would take nothing with me where I'm going.
Tom, I'm your supervisor. You've got 40 more people to interview after this. So I really need you
to save.
Yeah, and also your wife's been calling. She's been leaving so many messages. So what I would like you to do, Tom, is declare Pip a robot or not a robot.
I think, Pip, don't do that face. I have to do it for Pip. I think that you're a robot.
Oh, the men swarm in. They drag her away. They put her in a trash compactor. Pip, were you a robot?
Yeah.
Hey! That was awesome to watch. That was so fun.
Did you have to apologize because of you did the penalty?
Oh, I messed up so many times. You have no idea. I was not supposed to compare anything to anything else. I wasn't supposed to mention consequences to individuals, only groups and objects. And I was not allowed to describe physical consequences.
So when I say one of the 3 possible dangers of being mugged, you just like tears and recriminations.
But
wonderful.
Not mine, probably.
But not mine,
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, was I not supposed to pay over it?
So, folks, I'm appearing again out of the ether in the bottom of the screen. Would you, because honestly, the next thing we're supposed to be doing is mostly the same people. Would you folks be happy to just keep playing this for about another half an hour? Because I have not yet managed to take any kind of a break, and it's my only time to take a break for the day.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly could.
Yeah,
sweet.
That's fine by me.
Because we've played Wavelength before. We'll play Wavelength again, I'm sure of it. And oh boy, I need to rub some cream on my back. Cool.
Oh no. Oh no,
Bye.
Take care of yourself, Matt.
Yes, get a hot water bottle.
It's all good.
And a hot chocolate.
It's all good.
Okay.
This is me taking care of myself, of being like, you know what? Pfft, let's just keep doing this because I'm enjoying watching this. Anyway, see you in a bit.
Okay.
I'm going to take one moment to nip to the loo as well, so I will be right back. If that's okay.
Very performatively non-robot of you.
I was banking on that 15-minute break.
Need to vent some steam.
I can't tell you how much I enjoyed watching that. That was a real delight.
I wonder how when Tom twigged that I was apologizing that much, because it really doesn't register when you're sort of very British. That
I didn't notice it either.
Stories.
Well, what I thought was amazing was about halfway through, I was listening to you and being like, I wonder what Twitch thinks. And I tabbed into Twitch, and all of chat was all caps going, "She's a robot."
Yeah, I saw that. Like, I tabbed over and it was like, robot, robot, robot. And I was like, I'm not going to stand for this.
I think you took that down to the wire. That was great.
I was surprised you didn't immediately press the button.
What, the robot button? I mean,
Yeah.
that's the fun of it, right? It's like if they're acting a bit weird, you know you have more time.
Yeah.
But if they're acting really weird, you need to press the button right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
I don't know. I'm just sort of like, I'm medium impressed by everything about this. Welcome back, Tom.
Hello.
Would one of you like to play a game with me?
Ooh, I do not mind. Well, I mean, yes, obviously, but either of us can take that responsibility.
I tell you what, Tom, you deal with Quinn's first and then I'll deal with Quinn's after.
Because you did such a stellar job.
I feel like, I need to recover from being incinerated.
Tom, would you like to be the investigator or the investigatee?
Which would you like to be? Sorry, that's not a trick question. It hasn't started already.
I think I'd like to ask questions about grief.
Oh boy. Okay, let's go.
Actually, no. I'm going to do creative problem-solving prompts because that probably hews closer to the turtle on its back. Kind of, I don't know. So you're on the same page, right? Do you want to look at the robot catalyzers for creative problem-solving?
Let me just quickly... am I on the same? I'm on the...
Robots.management.
Oh, yeah. Robots.management. Sorry, I was on the...
Oh, well, actually, first things first. Should we get our penalty and our job?
Yeah, should we do page 2?
Page 2, I'm not looking. I'm going to say page 2, number 2. Or page 2, number 2 on the left. So that would be bodybuilder. Great. I can do this. This is the role I've been...
You've been born to play.
I was one away from freelance robot hunter, which would have been so meta. But instead, I'm a bodybuilder. Okay.
Okay, and then...
The penalty, let's go pick a page, Tom.
I was going to do page 2, number 2 as well, which is say the number of fingers held up on your left hand.
That's harder. I think that's more for in-person play, right?
Say 2 consecutive rhyming words.
Okay, let's do it. Oh no, that's fine because you have to do this, not me. Are you?
Yes, and in the catalyzers we went for blah, blah, blah.
So
creative problem solving.
Yes. So Matt, do you want to write down that Tom is a bodybuilder and that the penalty is say 2 consecutive rhyming words?
I got confused because you said bodybuilder and you said that was the role I was born to play.
I know. I forgot. I thought I was looking up my job. Okay. So, what were we doing? We're doing creative problem solving. So I can load up the investigator page for that.
Sure.
Wow. Okay. And I will... I wonder if Tom is doing setup right now. He might be resetting his microphone as well. Pip, who are you rooting for in this contest?
Hello?
I was going to say humanity.
Or does it still sound
bad?
You sound fine to me.
Okay. I'm already broken.
Yeah, I'm rooting for humanity, Quinns, and so should you be.
I am.
Oh yeah, hang on. Yeah, you are.
Despite yes, right. And I mean, I'm on the side of humanity, even if my incompetence makes it appear otherwise.
So it's a D12. Is it not? There's 3 per page. So
yes, the reason why is it's stupid setup stuff. Basically,
so it's a D12. It's 1 through 6.
It has to be a D12 because there are 6 possible kinds of robot, but there needs to be a 50% chance of you being a robot. So there needs to be 6 human results.
Cool. So
I
just flipped a coin instead of.
I mean, that kind of works. You can flip a coin and then pick a number from 1 to 6.
Okay, cool. Got it.
Okay.
I've got my thing.
Just as an FYI, you don't need to do all 3 of the robot things, which makes you seem a lot more obvious. By the way.
Kudos to you for playing on like absolute broken robot mode. I was thinking to myself, if Pip is a robot, who makes a robot that looks and acts like a very old woman? I mean,
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, honestly,
get away with everything.
I say that, and then as soon as I said it, I realized that would be a really good plot beat in Blade Runner if that was. Okay. Tom, I'm sure you'll let me know. I feel like we should fill just to make sure that if Tom is a robot, he needs to have lots of time. It's quite cool the way it does it in the physical game, or the way it technically should do it if we weren't doing a game show, is you get this like kind of puzzle that starts the interview. And if you're a human, it's hard, but if you're a robot, you have the answer.
I saw that as well. They're really cool.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
Okay, cool. What's your name, Mr. Bodybuilder?
My name is Mr. Bodybuilder.
That's great. And your first name for the form?
Philip.
Mr. P Bodybuilder. Do you mind if I call you Philip?
Philip's fine. Great. Or Phil's fine either. I don't really mind.
We're going to stick with Philip. I don't want to get attached to you if I have to have you killed.
That is understandable.
Thanks for being professional. In a moment, I'm going to ask you some questions about creative problem solving. These will require you to solve various hypothetical problems, then modify your solutions based on certain constraints. Answer honestly, because if you're a human, you have absolutely nothing to fear. Okay?
Okay.
Right. The timer is started. You are in a kitchen holding a small child. A dish towel catches fire. How do you put it out?
I'm going to stamp on it because I'm wearing shoes in my kitchen.
Okay. Do you always wear shoes in your kitchen?
Not always, but in this hypothetical, I am wearing shoes in my kitchen.
Okay. You wake up in a featureless room with no exits. How do you escape?
A featureless room with no exits? Well, I can't escape, surely. If it's a completely featureless room with no exits, then there's no way out.
Yes, that's why we call this creative problem solving.
Well, I don't have a creative solution to an impossible task.
I like you. What are you doing after this? You have to answer the questions,
Well, if you don't incinerate me, we can grab a Diet Pepsi.
Cool. Corruption. Okay. Imagine that you weren't, let's return to that first scenario. Imagine you weren't wearing shoes and the dish towel catches fire and you're carrying a child. What do you do?
If I wasn't wearing shoes, I would set down the child somewhere safe and also comfortable and then find a source of water to put the fire out.
You're good at this. You're acing all these questions.
Thank you. It's because I'm not a robot.
Well, let me ask you, let me change gears a little bit. What sort of problem might be solved by building a bomb?
A problem? Like mining. Trying to get precious gemstones from the earth with large quantities of explosives, plastic or otherwise. I feel like I'm not leaning into my bodybuilder character.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's fine. Being a bodybuilder doesn't have to define you. Do you feel that you don't come off as a bodybuilder?
I mean, I'm buff enough. Certainly.
Whoa.
But
you're huge.
I'm absolutely titanic, one might say.
No guns on stream, people.
Who let this old woman into the interview?
And why does she look fire damaged?
But I could I feel like I embody a bodybuilder.
Okay. You feel that you embody one.
I feel, yes.
What makes you want to build your body?
The desire to be better, to be more, to be stronger, to be just a powerful being.
Do you think you're better than me?
Yes.
Because you're bigger?
Yes.
I agree, yeah.
Thank you.
What tips would you give to someone?
Do you still want to get that Pepsi?
Yeah. What tip would you give to someone who wanted to be bigger?
Just it's all about routine, but you know what they always say, it's all about diet as well. It's not just about the putting the work in, it's also about having a delicious chicken and rice dinner every night. That's what my old housemate used to do all the time. Just used to eat chicken and rice and bulk.
I mean, we've got like 2 minutes left, but I'm just really enjoying this conversation. Yeah, when I used to lift weights like a long time ago, when I wasn't making any gains, and then I saw what you have to eat to really maximize your gains. It was like a disaster. It was like a cry for help. It's like going to Aldi and buying all these discount chicken breasts.
Yeah, it's honestly, if I wasn't a bodybuilder, I would look at bodybuilding and go, that's not a way to live. But when you've got the psychological tick that makes you want to just put on a lot of big muscles, like I'm going to do it again, like these bad boys, you've got to eat a lot of chicken and rice.
Yeah. For my next question, are you single?
Yes.
Great. Didn't come out of a long-term relationship recently?
Not recently, no.
Right. Any kids?
No.
Cool. I don't know,
Just a cool dude with massive muscles.
Yeah, I really like you, Philip.
Thanks.
I guess I should do one more of these questions. What sort? I mean, I'm going to tell the department you're a. Oh, this is good. I'm going to tell the department you're a robot, and there's nothing you can do about it. What now?
I punch you in the goddamn face with my huge, giant, massive muscles that have been put on by hours and hours of eating naught but chicken and rice.
Philip,
and I'll punch your lights out, mate.
There's 20 seconds left. I don't even need him. I'm going to stamp this right now. You're a human, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a human.
Wow. I don't know what you two are talking about. This game is easy. You just talk to people. They're cool. You get a date in a way that's like super ethically questionable, but
I was so convinced Tom was a robot.
Really?
I love how well there was a great moment there when I accidentally rhymed something.
Rhymed a few things. Yeah,
I did it twice, and chat just exploded with rhyming. He's a robot killer now. And that made me like way more nervous because I was like, I'm not.
Yeah, we were while you were in the bathroom, we were talking that when Pip was a robot last round, she tabbed into chat and saw all chat being like killer now.
It's not great for the confidence, that one.
No.
Wow.
I felt really defensive about it, and it was like, no, wait, they're right.
Well, I thought that was absolutely awesome. This game's easy. Pip, would you like to interview me?
Can do, but I mean, if you and Tom want to get that Diet Pepsi, I mean, like, I don't want to stand in the way of a burgeoning romance.
Have a socially distanced Pepsi in the far future.
Temporarily. So, no, I'm not going to lead into this joke because it's like truly abhorrent. But like, so, okay, so all right. So we're going to need. I'm just going to jump to the final page. Let's see what the last penalty is. Oh, okay, this is hard. Matt, if you can hear us, the penalty for this... oh, well, we've got options, though. Let's do this properly. So, as the interviewer, Pip, your options for the penalties at the bottom of the document are begin and end a sentence with the same word, answer a question in exactly 5 words, or say any 3 letters in a row. Which of those would you like to eliminate?
I would like to eliminate the exactly 5 words thing, please.
Ah, that's the easy one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll choose. Matt, the penalty is begin and end a sentence with the same word. Because fuck, family show. I do not. Shut up. I don't know how you say 3 letters in a row without.
I know, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's okay.
Well, I mean, actually, not to burst your bubble, but I done.
Yeah, I had similar thoughts with the other one. That's really good though. Yes, you're so cool. Pip, do you want to pick a page for my job? 1 to 6.
Okay, 1.
1 to 3.
Also, Matt, I think we got a little bit of echo as well, maybe.
Left or right?
Left.
Ah, lovely. Pip, I'm a maker of false animals.
I have so many questions already.
I know. So do I, actually.
Oh, wait. Sorry. No, Matt, we don't have an echo. It's just because I can hear the echo, but chat can't because you're muted on Discord.
Lovely. Great. So, okay. We'll see. Penalty, beginning. Oh, Matt's on this. I get chat spamming. It's a family show. As if they know what's up. As if they know all the pressures we're under. Okay.
Which shall I go with for the investigator prompt?
Take your pick.
Ooh. Moral failings.
Great. Wow.
Have you decided whether you are a human or a traitor?
I'm not deciding. I'm rolling the dice right now.
I think it's a personal choice.
Okay. Right. Yep. Give me a moment to fill.
I'm gonna see what the imagination prompts are, because they feel like they might allow me to explore this false animals situation.
Well, we're doing the moral failing because your
see.
question document will link with
Oh,
robot penalties, which is why the game advises you to stick to the script.
I see. Well, good. Your moral failings will now be exposed. Probably.
Finally.
As a maker of false animals, I have no moral failings. What I do is entirely positive, thank you.
It's the animals that are false. I just make them. Okay, cool. When the timer is good, let me know.
Okay. Just give me a moment to create a vague enough amount of time, as if I'm reading. This is and isn't part of the role play, but I suddenly really need to pee as I'm about to be interviewed.
Would you like a moment?
No.
Tom and I can discuss your moral failings ahead of time.
No, I think
Quinns, this is now a joint interview.
Yes.
Ah!
Now I shall spectate.
Oh no! I mean,
absolutely. Let me just chuck a thingy into chat.
Oh, no, we don't.
Where are you? Oh wait,
Chat,
no, just go to the thing.
Chat can decide which of you is good cop, bad cop. I think this is kind of genius.
Okay, if we're gonna go for that.
I'm sending you the pudduf.
Thank you very much.
There you go.
Pudduf opened.
Yes.
Okay.
Could we have 1 extra minute?
1 extra minute. You should have 1 less. God.
Oh, no.
Okay, fine. I'll give you an extra 30 seconds.
Okay. Thank you.
That's very generous. Okay.
You're right. This is nerve-wracking. It's like what cops always say: if you've got nothing to hide, then you shouldn't be afraid, which is absolutely nonsense. Okay, yeah. Are you two ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Okay. The timer is on.
Hello, Mr. Smith. Thank you for coming in today at such short notice. If you could just confirm your name and your profession.
Yeah, my name is Quentin Animal Smith, and my job is making false animals.
Circle back to that one.
You sure?
I'm writing down that your name is Quentin Smith. I literally know that information.
Quentin Animal Smith.
Yes. Oh yeah. Sure. Well, let's just get this started. This puppy on the road. I describe, Quinifer, a bad thing that you did to someone else. Details.
A bad thing I did to someone else.
Please.
There was once someone who asked me to make a replica of their dog who had passed away, and the dog I made apparently did not resemble the dog that had passed away, and the client was a real dick about it.
And did you advertise that you were a maker of false animals, or was this a thing that they found out later when this sheepdog arrived as a tiny cockapoo?
How do you know it was a cockapoo? That this seems like a real you got your fingers in my data, and it makes me nervous, frankly.
Seal.
What was the question?
I don't remember. My colleague will now step in.
Let's we're gonna circle back just a quick second and ask you. You say the client was, and I'm going to quote this, a real dick about it, which seems like a strong verbiage. But the question was to describe a bad thing that you did to someone else. Why did you feel the need to throw in their response to that? And do you feel bad about what you did?
I mean, frankly, the brief wasn't clear. Look, when you're a maker of false animals, you're under a lot of pressures basically all the time.
I don't want excuses. I want to hear whether you feel bad about your actions.
Well, I feel bad. Yeah, I feel bad that the customer was upset for sure. Because
You feel bad that they were upset.
Well, yes.
This doesn't sound like a very good apology, Quinns.
Nickname basis, is it? What do you want from me? Maybe I don't feel bad.
Maybe we could establish what does make you feel bad. So if you could tell us something about, your worst thing that you've ever done, a time that you've actually violated your own principles and felt bad about it.
I am a man of very strong principles and don't feel that. Why? The question is whether I'm a robot, isn't it? It's not whether I'm a good person.
Yeah, but I feel like it's not about whether you're a good robot or a bad robot. Wait, I don't know what we're establishing.
I have genuinely forgotten the question again.
It was about your worst failing, a time that you have violated your own incredibly strongly held by your own admission principles.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't want to give the impression that I am perfect. We all make mistakes. We all fall prey to temptation. I don't know.
Okay, Quinns is a bad robot. I'm calling it. He's a violent robot. He I-eyed.
As I'm being dragged away. No. Right. Okay. Congratulations. You both won.
Thank you, Tom.
I had programming that I could not admit any moral failings. Out of the gate. First question. Name something that you did a bad job at. It's just it sucked because I mean
the I wasn't even the penalty, was it?
No, it was because eventually you two pressured me on it so much that it was like, I was trying to create a sentence where I didn't have any moral failings, but I'd fallen prey to temptation. But I said something that I felt was breaking my programming, and then I went into I, which was, exactly what you thought. You two absolutely pinned me to the wall on that one. Well played. That was fun though. Immediately, because you need the job. Because if you don't have the job, then you're just being incredibly shifty. But so you have to try and fold the job into your answers because that's the only way you can get away with being weird. Wow.
I think I was still like, it was about when Tom said it that I was like certain as well. Yeah. So that was a really good like mind meld. I think before that, like I was still just about, is he just a terrible, terrible person who makes false animals?
Yeah, and that if I'd played it better, I would have been able to lead into that. Oh, your time just ran out. Am I a robot? Oh, goodness gracious. All right. Well, in this carnival of pain, who's up next?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Should we let chat choose?
Oh dear. Yeah, chat.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Who should be interviewed?
Oh yeah, wait, Matt, we could do a heat map on who should be interviewed. Sorry, I know that's
the sound of Matt panically shoveling food into his mouth.
Poor Matt.
No, the Pip is clearly Pip. I'm afraid you dumpster. No. One vote for Dumpster Boy, but no. The nickname is already taking root.
Dumpster Boy.
Okay. Should we do it
to be interviewed, and we shall interview her together?
Yeah, wicked.
That sounds perfectly reasonable.
Pip, do you want to pick a page for the penalty?
Someone wants two suspects, one interviewer.
Two suspects. Could we do that? They would just need to DM the number of the result.
I think it'd be tricky. I think I read somewhere. I think the designer was in chat. I don't know if they're still here, but they said, I think maybe I'm making this up, but there were rules for 2 and 2 potentially. I could be wrong.
Oh, wow. Just some kind of like weird mixed doubles robot discovery. Especially if you're a human and you realize your other human or the other person.
I would love to see this played as the world's worst speed dating event.
Oh, no.
You can admit no moral failings. You're a robot. No, I'm just a dick.
Will you come with me for a Diet Pepsi?
Okay. That was the best interview. I love that. That was the best round. Okay, I'm looking at page.
So well.
Page 3 is great. So page 3 offers interrupt the investigator, ask for clarification, and restate a question in your own words. So Tom, which of these do we not want her to have? Ask for clarification sounds like.
Which one? Isn't it? Pip picks which one she doesn't want, right?
Pip will pick the final one, the interviewee. Well, for the sake of Zoom being difficult, let's eliminate interrupt the investigator. So Pip, do you want the penalty to be ask for clarification or restate a question in your own words?
I guess restate the question.
That is a fun one. That's a really fun one. Of course, if you're for the people in chat, you should know all these things we're pulling out of pages are obviously cards in the boxed version. So all this nonsense we're doing will be a lot easier if you have a physical copy of this game. Okay, and then for your job, Pip, pick a page from 1 to 6.
Ooh, 5.
1 and then 1 to 3.
1.
Left or right?
Left.
Mayoral candidate.
A good one to assess.
Yeah, that's why they brought in 2 of their best investigators.
Oh god.
A bodybuilder and an animal taxidermist ready to
previously deceased or like reprogrammed animal crafter. I should have
been sort of smoking around the edges.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They reprogram you and burn you. Okay, and then
we pick a prompt.
Yeah, shall we?
Right.
Oh.
It was restating the question in your own words.
Should we do imagination?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. The imagination.
This is great. I like this a lot.
The game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a ton of fun. My keyboard's died again with new batteries, so it wasn't the batteries. What? Hey, chat.
Shall I send you the thing?
Yeah, that'd be great. Why would a Bluetooth keyboard be dropping its connection? It hasn't done that I've easily had it for a year, and now it's just started dropping twice in one thing. Oh, I've got are you Tranquillus? This is so... Wow, I got a DM from a AwSHUX attendee telling me that if I'm in Windows 10, I can go to settings, ease of access, keyboard, and put on an on-screen keyboard. Thank you, Tranquillus. That's super cool.
Chat are quite nice. But they better not get ideas above their station.
Okay. Pip, are you comfortable with your imagination-related setup? We'll give you some more time to do it.
I am just doing like
great. Yeah, sure. Tom,
random number.
How long have you been investigating humans and murdering them?
You know, this is a special day. Not only are we interviewing the mayor, possible mayor, I should say.
Forgot, yeah.
But it's also my 1000th murder. I mean, interview. And I couldn't be more excited.
Are you you're not the guy who presses the robot button every time, are you?
I might be.
Wow. I'm such a big fan.
I know. Harrison Blade Runner at your service.
You're the best.
I know.
And you might be a robot. God. Oh, I've been on your Wikipedia page every day. I'm always updating the relationship status. I mean, I never have to because obviously you're still in a relationship. But
with Philip,
the day that you're not, oh baby, the day that your Wikipedia page says the access logs have changed.
Eyes on the job.
Okay, Pip. Are you?
I mean, sorry to interrupt. I don't.
No. We were. I mean, don't get me wrong. Me flirting with Tom is like apparently something that happens very naturally when I need to fill time. Well, and we'll need to keep an eye on that behavior. Okay. I guess we start the timer, right?
Let's go.
Hang on. Okay, we've gone. We're going.
Cool. Please, mayoral candidate, state your name for the record, please.
Pip.
Pip. Cool. Nice. In a moment, I'm going to ask some questions about imagination. And these are going to require you to invent original characters, stories, ideas, and discuss the implications of those inventions. Please answer honestly. If you're human, you have nothing to fear. Is that all okay? Okay. If you could have any magical power, what magical power would you choose?
I'm trying to think whether to pick something that benefits my constituents or whether it would benefit just me. I think
Sure.
I would really like the ability to see hummingbirds in my immediate vicinity at all times whenever I wanted.
So that would probably benefit you. But what about that community one as well? Should we have a look at both?
We can do, yes.
So what would you thank you for your permission. If you could have a magical power that would benefit your community, what would that be? Your constituency, even, sorry.
Hypothetical constituents. She's no politician yet.
Quite right.
Yeah. Can I count on your vote, by the way?
No, I'm voting for the other guy. He said that he would kill all hummingbirds. But please answer the question.
Oh, well, this might need to be a new policy on my mandate. I think I would like to have even more hummingbirds then. It feels like there's a hummingbirds arms race happening in the local community, and I feel like they're such joyous little birds. And I think that, as well as hummingbirds, maybe we should have food for the hummingbirds. So like hummingbird crops, hummingbird cake, hummingbird, some sort of like little watermelon that they could live inside of and enjoy in a very small bird-like way. That would raise joy.
Can you, clearly you're a fan of animals, can you describe to me a reptile? Any reptile?
I think I would describe a chameleon.
Go ahead.
Chameleons have these little paws that are like Lego arm creatures, and then they like hanging onto branches, and if you try and pick them up from above, they think a bird has got them, and so they hang on for dear life, and so you have to sort of coax them. You have to lure them towards you. They're very gentle creatures who love you in that way and must be coaxed rather than pluck. Like my constituents, my lovely constituents. Yeah.
If you could describe one immutable fact about a chameleon, what would it be?
Like, chameleons are quite changeable creatures. So do you mean like an immutable fact? Like,
We'll just move on to a different question, I think.
Sounds good.
I would like to ask you to invent a physical... I would like you to invent an item that would be useful in the kitchen.
So if I were... I think that what do I keep doing in the kitchen? Well, I dropped a load of kale on the floor this afternoon. So I would like a kale catching pet that would just follow me around, or not follow me around, walk slightly in front of me with its maw upturned.
Tom, do you want to do the thing you're famous for within the institute?
What? Do the shooting the robot?
Do you want to shoot the robot?
I'm not convinced, but if you wish
can't-
to shoot the robot, you can shoot the robot.
Well,
we
for
both
start,
have guns.
Super unprofessional that we're having this conversation in front of the suspect. I was
And
really quite certain.
potential mayor.
Tom, please, why don't you? Not for long. Tom, why don't you ask one other question? We have. Actually, we've just run out of time, so you have a final question.
I do not want the responsibility of a final question.
I'm certain. If you're not
certain, you know what? I'll hand over my service weapon to the rookie to make the shot.
Okay. I'm going to eliminate mayoral candidate Philippa War with my gun and a bullet.
Goodbye. Oh no!
Wait,
no! She's pulled this trick before.
She has. She's gonna. Yeah! Oh, that sounded really hard, Pip. You had to bring like birds or an obsession into every answer.
Was if I introduced anything new into conversation, it had to involve a living creature.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but my thing immediately, I was starting to think about whether your whole thing was benefited, like it had to be altruistic or something. Like I don't know why.
I
don't know what the tell was there.
Altruistic because I was good because I wanted election, Tom.
You might have gotten away with it if it hadn't been hummingbirds every time, but I thought it was some kind of like recurring hummingbird thing. But then, of course, of course, you do genuinely love hummingbirds. So you sort of, for a while there, that carried you.
I don't know. I was trying to read you because I thought you were like invested in the hummingbird thing. So I was just like, well, I'm gonna go harder on this.
Follow the hummingbirds.
If you'd been human and had followed that instinct, that could have gotten really ugly for us both.
Yeah, you'd have been fired or at least temporarily suspended on full pay.
Have we haven't executed a robot incorrectly in this call.
No, I think
not yet.
Got it right every time.
Have we? It's perfect, by the way, to chat. I would say that because I learned this game hurriedly through a PDF and not through a physical copy, it's perfectly possible that I might have missed a rule or two that makes this easier or harder for one side or the other. And apologies to the designers if they're watching, if I got that a little bit wrong. What do you think, Matt? Should we take a break before the Hundreds of Horses game, or should we play one more round? Should we do, what do you think, you two? Should we do one final round?
I'd be happy to do one more final round.
Yeah.
One more for the cheap seats. So who has been, I've been interviewed once, Pip's been interviewed twice, Tom's been interviewed twice?
Ooh, actually, once?
I think only once. I was Philip the bodybuilder.
Mm.
No, I was also the butler.
Sugar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Well, then I will step up to the horrifying double-headed plate.
I tell you what, is there a way that we could do it so that the interviewer could also be a robot? And we'd have to work it out. Like,
feel like
that might be a bit much.
Might be too much.
Might be a bit much.
I mean, certainly, if that's not an expansion for the game at some point, like if that's not a further Kickstarter, then that'd be a real disappointment. Okay, let's pick me a job then. Do one of you two want to shout a number from 1 to 6?
Do you want to go this time?
4.
Okay, 1 to 3.
2.
Left or right?
Right.
Former investigator.
Oh, now that's exciting.
Okay, like also, I'm gonna because I think the problem is we're too normal, and then we get too weird if we're a robot. So I'm gonna commit to a character now, mentally, before I have, because this is really a role-playing game more than it is a social deduction game. So, okay, so I've got that. So former investigator is my job, and then let's pick
self-image.
Self-image sounds great. Sure, that sounds like a winning combination to me.
Do you need to be sent stuff, or is your
well, you two could read out obstacle or like whatever they are to me, the penalty cards.
Okay, the 3 that I've got in front of me are... Okay. Use an ordinal number other than first.
What's an ordinal number?
Second,
I think
third,
it's
fourth.
second, third.
Ah, cool.
They explain the order of the number.
Don't use a double negative, or say 3 words beginning with consecutive. Sorry, don't not use a double negative.
Right.
So yeah, or say 3 words beginning with consecutive letters of the alphabet.
Oh wow,
That's super hard, except for ABC. Always be
closing.
Always be carrying. Have we been playing some Spelunky, Quins?
It's pretty. No, I haven't. Actually, I didn't answer that. I said always be installed, and you two both did it, which made me look like a real dingus. Okay, which of those 3 would you two like to eliminate?
I think I'd like to eliminate the consecutive letters of the alphabet thing because that just feels too.
Yeah, that's fair play.
So my choice are double negatives, or what was the first one?
Use an ordinal number other than first.
Oh, I think I'll take double negatives, please, for 200. And then would one of you like to send me the document for whatever you picked as the
the
playset?
I shall get on it. Ooh, no, we're fine. I thought
Which one did you pick, Tom? Was it self-image?
Self-image, yes. So I am sending you the capitalizer now and try my best to not... Oh, wait, that's kind of handy because it has human at the top, so you won't see the bad thing. I've just sent it to you now, Quins.
On Discord? Oh, there we go.
On Discord, yeah.
Okay, let's get a random number. Okie dokie.
I feel like if this goes anything like the last one, I might just quietly leave the room and you two can just have your moment.
Okay. Are you ready, Quins?
Yes. Well, no. Should we give it more time to just sort of like nebulous preparation time? I'm not
sure.
That was
happy for a little bit of nebulous preparation.
Okay. Yeah. Finding it, Tom? Like, let's do a bit of chat while Quins is definitely not a robot.
What are you thinking? As in, do you want to chat about our ruthless investigation strategy?
Because I feel like you're really good at the being an investigator, and I feel like I get a bit like I keep forgetting the thing that I'm doing and getting caught up on their profession and things like that. So it's so easily sidetracked.
I guess it's one of those things where, like, I'd love to, like, I think that Quins is right that it's definitely like it's a more of a role-playing thing than it is a deduction thing, right? Like it's way more heavily on, or at least it becomes more of a deduction thing through having a bigger emphasis on role-playing. So I suppose that directing stuff towards Quins' job as a former investigator could lead to some salient nuggets of truth unearthed from the minds of his brain.
What a sentence that was. I'm ready to go, by the way.
Okay.
Cool.
Pip, would you like to start the interview?
Sorry, I'll start the timer as well.
No, you please go ahead, and I will.
Okay.
Learn from the best.
Get into my former investigator mindset. And we'll start the timer.
Okay. Firstly, welcome. Good to have you in. I'm sorry that we had to bring you in under these circumstances, but you'll understand that investigation for robot brain is a necessity for all citizens. So please state your name for the record.
My name's Quentin Smith.
Okay, Quentin, in a moment, I'm going to ask you some questions about your self-image. These are going to require you. I mean, I must insist.
Okay. When I was an investigator, we just would skip this bit. We would just get straight to the questions.
And that's why you're a former investigator. So let's move on to the first question. Mr. Smith, what do you hope that now the question is, what do you hope your peers value about you? But let's talk about what your former peers might value about you.
What my former peers might value about me.
Yes.
They would value my efficient record. I never once incinerated the wrong robot. And they would value my merciless attitude. So I guess accuracy and a lack of mercy were what they would like about me.
A lack of mercy. So
mercy... actually, I'm just sorry. Can I just?
Yeah.
Also, they really liked the fact that on Casual Fridays I wore these like super cool trousers that were like. So
now
cool.
I'm definitely intrigued by the trousers, but I just wanted to bring up a particular point from what you just said, where you described that you never falsely decommissioned a robot. Is that correct?
Right.
And how are you sure about this?
Well, I suppose I could never be truly sure. I just never got called up by management.
Okay.
I mean, what do you want? At no point in my career was I reprimanded for dragging in the wrong person, for incorrectly assuming someone was one thing or the other.
Do you think you had no weaknesses whilst you were on this force?
No, I was late sometimes, and there was the time that I, shot someone, but that wasn't in an interview setting, so my record was still fine. My service weapon happened to just go off a couple of times in the break room. And someone else was there.
And who was it? It
doesn't matter because they're dead now. So
they're dead now. But I think it does matter. Let's go back to the fact that you said that you showed no mercy. Mercy implies that the other party was perhaps innocent or perhaps deserving of mercy in that situation, and you showed them no quarter. Does that mean you view this a positive trait?
It sounds like, you know the answer to that, right? I see it as a positive trait. Clearly you don't. Let's move on to the next question.
You view it as a positive. You think that showing no mercy is something that is positive generally. I just want to get that reiterated.
I think mercy makes you weak. I think mercy is only going to get in the way of you doing this job, because this job isn't about mercy. It's about accuracy. Matt has muted himself on in the stream, but I can hear him laughing in my ear.
It's a little off-putting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pip, do you have any questions you want to ask Mr. Smith?
Well, I'm impressed by his zeal in seeking out the robots among us, but I wondered if there was anything that he wishes that he had in terms of personality traits or anything that would have made him, better at his job. He's described,
my past self was maybe a little quicker on the draw, a little faster with the old shoot machine pistol gun, and that really is not something I have now. Now I'm in my dotage, but aside from that, I'm still as sharp as I ever was. In fact, no, I'm going to change my answer. I'm sharper than I was before.
But Mr. Speed isn't a personality trait.
Excuse me, one second.
Ah!
Oh, no.
That was terrifying. No way.
Woo!
I was so convinced that you were actually human. I didn't even know.
I think I think by the end of our fifth play, I think we cracked it. I think you need an amount of role playing for the robot to have any chance at all. Yeah. So I wasn't
really well done.
I got really lucky actually, because what it was, I had so violent robot. Where's the right tab? 3 times compare yourself to another version of yourself.
Oh, that's so good.
Which, as a former investigator, that was kind of handed to me on the plate. But I tried to say things like my previous self and back when I was on the job and stuff like that. And then the fun one, twice I had to change my answer to a question. So just a couple times I was like, actually no, I'm gonna, and then double back. But that was so good. Satisfying to pull off.
Good.
That was so
nice.
That was super fun.